Hello and welcome. Take a deep breath, because what you're about to hear might change your life forever. This is not just a video. This is not just a book summary. This is your mirror. This is the story of your inner battle, the war between the life you dream of and the fear that holds you back. The name of the book is The Mountain Is You. And in this mountain, you will see yourself. You will learn why you keep repeating the same mistakes, why you procrastinate, sabotage your happiness, or stay stuck even when you want to grow. Why healing is not about fixing who you are, but becoming who you were meant to be. How to understand your emotions, your patterns, your inner wounds, and how to finally become the master of your life, not the prisoner of your fear. Let me ask you this. What if one idea could change your mind forever? What if one sentence could give you back the power you lost years ago? Books have changed history. Books have built empires. Books have saved people from depression, bankruptcy, and even suicide. And books are how the rich get richer, not just in money, but in wisdom. Did you know? The average CEO reads at least 50 books a year. Warren Buffett spends 80% of his day reading. Bill Gates reads one book per week. Now ask yourself, why? Because they know this truth. Books are time machines. One book can save you 10 years of mistakes. One author's lifetime of lessons, given to you in just a few pages. And today, you're not just reading a book. You're discovering your hidden mountain. If you're learning English, this video will help you in 3 powerful ways. 1. Real spoken English, natural words, emotional tone, and phrases used by native speakers. 2. Slow, clear explanation. Every sentence is crafted for easy understanding. 3. Deep motivation. You won't just learn English. You'll learn how to change your life. So your brain learns English, and your heart learns power. By the time this series ends, you will no longer ask, why do I always mess things up? You will start asking, what is this mountain teaching me about myself? You will walk away with more clarity, more self-respect, more emotional strength, more tools to rebuild your life, and most importantly, the belief that you can. So now, let's begin. Chapter 1. The Mountain Is You. Let's imagine a mountain. You're standing at the bottom, looking up. It's huge, it's cold, it's scary. The peak is covered in clouds. You want to reach the top. That's where your dream life is waiting. But you feel stuck. Maybe you've felt this before. You want to speak confidently, but you stay silent. You want to start a new habit, but you delay it every day. You want to leave a toxic job, but you can't move. You want love, but you keep pushing it away. You think, maybe the problem is out there. But the book tells you, the mountain is not outside of you. The mountain is you. It means you are standing in your own way, your fear, your self-doubt, your guilt, your past, your trauma, your excuses, your habits. You built this mountain, and now you have to climb it. Let's say it again. Self-sabotage is not failure. It's communication. You sabotage because a part of you is scared. Scared to grow, scared to lose control, scared to be seen, scared to succeed. You get offered a promotion. You feel excited, then anxious. You start showing up late. You miss deadlines. You don't know why. But deep down, you think, what if I'm not good enough? That's self-sabotage. Not because you're lazy, but because you're protecting your old self. There's a war inside you. One part wants to grow. One part wants to stay safe. The second part is stronger. Because it's been with you for years. Since childhood, since trauma, since pain. So when change comes, it panics, it whispers, stay where it's comfortable. Don't risk getting hurt again. Just do what we always do. Even if that habit is killing your happiness. You're not broken, you're not weak, you're just running an old survival program. And now, it's time to update it. Just like updating an app. You delete the bugs, improve the system, and relaunch. You can do the same with your mind. Let's go back to the mountain. Each step you take is a moment of growth. The step where you forgive yourself. The step where you stop blaming others. The step where you wake up and choose better, even when it's hard. The step where you finally say, I deserve more. I'm ready. Let's go. You don't need to climb it in one day. You just need to take the first step. The mountain is not your enemy. The mountain is your teacher. You created it. To learn how strong you are, you built it. So you could become the person who climbs it. You are not here to stay at the bottom. You are here to rise. And this book is your map. Chapter 2. There's no such thing as self-sabotage. Before we start, take a moment. Close your eyes. Think about the last time you messed up something in your life. Not by accident, but by your own hand. Something inside you knew it was important. But still, you ruined it. You skipped the job interview. You ignored the healthy habit. You pushed away the person who loved you. You stopped yourself from shining. Then you whispered, I don't know why I always do this. I sabotage myself. I'm the problem. But today, the book tells you something that can change everything. There's no such thing as self-sabotage. It doesn't exist in the way you think. What does that mean? Let's go deep. When you hear the word sabotage, what comes to mind? Blowing up your own chances? Destroying your own happiness? Getting in your own way? But the truth is, your brain doesn't want to hurt you. It's doing what it thinks is best for your survival. Even if it looks like destruction from the outside. Self-sabotage is self-protection in disguise. Let's understand this with real-life examples. Imagine, you see the perfect job opening. You know you're qualified. Your heart says, go for it. But you wait and wait and wait. The deadline passes. You didn't apply. You call it self-sabotage. But let's break it down. Subconsciously, you might be thinking, what if I get the job and fail? What if I succeed and people expect more from me? What if I leave my comfort zone and I'm not ready? So instead of facing the unknown, your brain whispers, let's stay where we are. At least it's familiar. That's not sabotage. That's your inner child trying to stay safe. You finally meet someone who loves you, respects you, supports you. But slowly, you start pulling away. You pick fights, you create distance, you break it off, you say, I ruined it. I always do this, but your subconscious might be saying, last time I opened my heart, I got hurt. Love feels dangerous. This can't be real. I don't deserve this. So your brain protects you. It builds walls, not to hurt you, but to avoid feeling pain again. This is the core idea of Chapter 2. Let's break it down. You are not one single voice inside. You are a mix of dreams, fears, habits, memories, pain, hope, old stories, new desires. And sometimes, these parts disagree. One part of you wants success. Another part of you is scared of what success will change. One part of you wants love. Another part of you is terrified of being abandoned again. This creates a conflict. It's not that you want to destroy your life. It's that one part of you is trying to protect the life you've already survived. Your subconscious doesn't care about growth. It only cares about familiarity. It asks one question: have we felt this before and survived it? If yes, it keeps repeating it, even if it's unhealthy, even if it hurts you, even if it's a dead end. That's why some people keep choosing bad partners, stay in toxic jobs, avoid taking risks, reject success, repeat old patterns, not because they want pain, but because pain feels more familiar than peace. Let's say you're trying to speak English in public. You know your grammar. You've practiced your lines. But when it's time to speak, your throat closes. You freeze. You say nothing. You think, why do I sabotage myself? I've practiced so much. But inside, there's an older voice saying, what if they laugh? What if I make a mistake? What if I sound stupid and lose respect? That voice is scared, not of English, but of emotional pain. So your brain says, let's be quiet. That way, we stay safe. It's not sabotage. It's a protection mechanism based on your past experiences. If your house is on fire and a child is crying, do you yell at the child? No, you protect them. You hold them. You comfort them. The same way, you must hold your scared inner self with kindness, not judgment. Say, I see you. I understand why you're scared. But we're not in danger anymore. We can do this together. Ask yourself, what do I want? And what am I afraid of losing if I get it? Clarity is the first step to freedom. Instead of ignoring fear, talk to it. Say, fear, what are you trying to protect me from? Write the answer. You'll be surprised how much your subconscious is trying to help you, even in the wrong way. Instead of saying, I'm sabotaging everything, say, I'm learning to understand myself. I'm discovering the part of me that needs healing. Self-sabotage ends when your inner world feels safe enough to grow. Create rituals of safety. Meditation, self-talk, supportive friendships, journaling, coaching, or therapy. Learning new skills, like English. Reading books like this. When you feel safe, you stop sabotaging and start thriving. You are not broken. You are not lazy. You are not your mistakes. You are a story in progress, a healing heart, a rising soul, a person climbing the mountain they once built out of fear. There is no such thing as self-sabotage, only parts of you that need to feel safe, seen, and supported. The moment you stop punishing yourself and start listening to yourself, that's when transformation begins. Chapter 3. Your triggers are the guides to your freedom. Let's start with a simple question. What is a trigger? A trigger is not just something that annoys you. It's something that hurts you. Even when it seems small, it's when something outside you, a word, a situation, a sound, a person, suddenly wakes up a deep emotional pain inside you. It's when something tiny makes you feel huge anger, fear, sadness, jealousy, shame, and you don't understand why it feels so big. That is not just emotion. That is a trigger. Example, you text your best friend. They see the message, but don't reply for hours. You feel angry, anxious, rejected, not important, but it's just a late reply. Why so much pain? Because deep inside you might carry fear of abandonment, childhood wounds of being ignored, memories of rejection, old trauma where silence meant danger. So your friend's silence is not the problem. Your triggered memory is. Your triggers are not the enemy. They are road signs. They are messengers. They are showing you where your unhealed pain lives. In other words, What triggers you is trying to teach you something about yourself. So, what's the big secret of Chapter 3? Here it is. If you want freedom, don't avoid your triggers. Follow them. Understand them. Heal them. Triggers are not here to destroy you. They are here to show you where you still hurt, what you haven't accepted, what you truly need, what still controls you, and where your power is still locked away. You're working hard. You're proud of your progress. But someone says one small thing. You could have done it better. Or, why did you do it like this? Boom. You feel crushed, ashamed, defensive, like you're not good enough. But think, is their comment really that powerful? No. What's powerful is the wound it touched. Maybe your parents were always critical. Maybe your teachers made you feel like a failure. Maybe you always had to prove your worth to feel loved. So now every small criticism touches that old wound. That's your trigger. The book teaches us. Each time you get triggered, you get a key. A key to open the door of healing. A key to meet your past self. A key to free the part of you that's still hurting. So don't just say, I got triggered. I overreacted. Instead, say, wait, where did that pain come from? What part of me needs attention, love, or safety? Let's take an example close to your heart. You're trying to speak English. You watch someone on YouTube, fluent, confident, amazing accent. And suddenly you feel jealous, small, insecure, hopeless. You say, why can't I speak like that? I'll never be that good. Now pause. That emotion, that punch in the chest, is a trigger. What is it really saying? Maybe, I was made fun of for my mistakes. I was told I wasn't smart enough. I'm afraid people will laugh at my voice. So the trigger isn't the speaker. The trigger is your memory. Most people feel triggered and do one of these. Get angry, blame others, deny it, numb it, with food, phones, distractions. Avoid the situation forever, but if you want to grow, you must. Pause. Feel. Ask, listen, understand. That's how healing begins. Let's say that again. Pain is a compass. It points you to the exact place inside you that's asking to be healed. Triggers are like alarm bells. They ring when your heart is trying to say, please look here. Please don't ignore me again. This is where I need love. This is where you left yourself behind. Here's a simple but powerful exercise. Think of a recent time you got really upset, hurt, or angry. Write down exactly what triggered you, the situation, the words, the tone, etc. Ask yourself, what did I feel in that moment? Where have I felt this before in life? What belief does this trigger reveal? Example, I felt disrespected. I felt that way as a child when my opinions were ignored. I believe I don't matter. Say to yourself, I am safe now. I'm not in the past. I can respond with awareness. Here's what people get wrong. They think, if I avoid triggers, I'll have peace. But that's fake peace. Real peace comes when triggers have no power over you anymore. And that only happens when you face them, understand them, and heal them. Triggered emotion, hidden truth. Anger, a boundary was crossed. Jealousy. You desire something you've denied yourself. Fear, you feel unsafe or uncertain. Shame, you're judging yourself through someone else's eyes. Sadness, you're holding on to loss, rejection, or grief. These are not weaknesses, they are maps. And when you follow them with honesty, you reclaim your power. Your colleague gets praised. You've worked hard too, but no one says anything to you. Suddenly you feel invisible, angry, not good enough. Your trigger has been activated. Most people will say, I hate this place. They don't see my worth. That person is fake. But the book teaches us to say, why did this moment hurt me so much? What part of me still believes I need external validation to feel worthy? Then, you start doing the real work. That's where the magic begins. The goal is not to become untriggered. The goal is to become so self-aware that nothing can control you anymore. This chapter isn't just a message. It's a revolution. It tells you, you are not weak for being triggered. You are not broken. You are becoming aware. Every trigger is a chance, a moment to go deeper, to meet yourself, to hold your pain, not run from it, to listen to the child inside you, to reclaim your mind, your power, your peace, the mountain you are climbing. It's filled with emotional landmines. But now you know, every landmine is a lesson. Every trigger is a teacher. Every reaction is a reflection. And your job is to understand, not avoid. Because understanding creates freedom. Chapter 4. Building Emotional Intelligence. Ask yourself, what do I do when I feel overwhelmed? How do I react when someone disrespects me? Do I know how to handle difficult emotions, or do I just avoid them? If you've ever overreacted and later regretted it, felt confused about your feelings, struggled to explain why you're upset, said I'm fine when you were breaking inside, then this chapter is your breakthrough. Because today, you will learn a life-changing skill: emotional intelligence. The ability to feel, understand, control, and direct your emotions with wisdom. In life, your emotions make most of your decisions, not your logic. It's not your IQ that controls you in a moment of heartbreak, pressure, or conflict. It's your EQ, emotional quotient. Let me show you why. People with high IQ but low EQ ruin relationships, struggle with leadership, hurt others and themselves, avoid growth because they can't handle discomfort. People with average IQ but high EQ win trust, stay calm under pressure, understand others, heal themselves, rise like leaders in tough times. Imagine, you receive a rude email from a colleague. You feel insulted. You start typing an angry response, full of blame, sarcasm, and emotion. Stop. If you send that email, you may damage your reputation, your job, your peace. But if you pause, feel your anger, process it. Ask yourself, what am I feeling? Why? What is the right response? Then you write back with calm clarity, not emotional chaos. That's emotional intelligence. This chapter is not about controlling emotions like a robot. It's about something more powerful. Understanding emotions so deeply that they no longer control you. Let me repeat. You don't have to kill your feelings. You need to become the master of them. What is emotional intelligence? It's made up of 5 key abilities. 1. Self-awareness. Knowing what you're feeling and why, e.g., I feel anxious because I don't feel prepared. 2. Self-regulation. Managing your emotional reactions, e.g., I feel angry, but I won't scream. I'll express calmly. 3. Motivation. Using your emotions to drive you forward, e.g., I feel disappointed, but I'll use that to improve. 4. Empathy. Understanding others' emotions, e.g., they're not rude, they're hurting. 5. Social skills. Managing relationships wisely, e.g., let's resolve this with communication, not drama. You're heartbroken. Someone left you. You feel abandoned, worthless, angry, jealous. Without emotional intelligence, you might send toxic messages, stalk their social media, blame them endlessly, destroy your peace for months. But with emotional intelligence, you'll ask, what did I learn? Where did I ignore red flags? What part of me is really hurting? How can I grow stronger from this pain? You won't avoid your feelings. You will hold them like a teacher. Your emotions are not random. They are data. They are messages from your subconscious. They are your inner GPS system. You speak in English. Someone laughs, or you make a mistake. You suddenly feel shame, embarrassment, anger, insecurity. Without emotional intelligence, you shut down. You avoid speaking again. You believe I'm not good enough. But with emotional intelligence, you feel the emotion. You name it. That's shame. That's fear of judgment. You choose growth. I'm learning. Mistakes are part of the path. That's how people transform, not by avoiding pain, but by using pain to evolve. Here's the brutal truth. Most people don't feel their emotions. They become them. They don't say, I feel angry. They say, I am angry, and they throw it at everyone around them. They don't say, I feel insecure. They become jealous, bitter, cold. That's how fights start. That's how relationships die. That's how dreams are destroyed. Not because of lack of talent, but because of emotional blindness. Let me give you real tools, easy to understand and apply. Name your emotion. What exactly am I feeling right now? Not just bad or upset. Be specific. I feel rejected. I feel embarrassed. I feel forgotten. I feel disrespected. Naming the emotion is the first step to healing it. Ask, where is this coming from? What event or memory is behind this emotion? Your feelings come from interpretation, not just events. You feel jealous when your friend succeeds. You dig deeper and realize, because I believe I'm falling behind in life. Boom. That's where healing begins. Pause before you react. Train yourself to pause. Take 3 breaths. Ask, what's the smartest way to respond right now? Your emotional pause is more powerful than your emotional punch. Talk to yourself like someone you love. When you feel overwhelmed, don't say, I'm weak. I'm stupid. I hate myself. Instead, say, you're safe. You're growing. I'm proud of you for feeling this and still moving forward. Self-talk is the secret weapon of emotionally intelligent people. Make emotion your fuel. Use emotion to drive action, not destruction. Feel disappointed? Work harder. Feel jealous? Learn the skills you admire. Feel anxious? Make a plan. Feel sad? Rest, recover, reconnect. Emotion equals energy. Direct it with purpose. If you don't understand your emotions, you will attack your partner for no reason. You will create distance when you need connection. You will ruin trust because you didn't heal your own wounds. If you do understand emotions, you'll speak instead of scream. You'll listen instead of defend. You'll grow instead of blame. This is how relationships thrive, not by being perfect, but by being emotionally wise. Nobody is born with this. You learn it by failing, reflecting, practicing, healing, growing. Every time you feel something big, you're getting a chance to build EQ. Imagine, someone insults you in public. Your body wants to react, scream, cry, attack. But you pause, you breathe, you ask, what does this say about them, not me? What is the response that protects my peace? And you walk away with dignity. That is power. Emotional intelligence is not soft. It's not weak. It's not boring. It is the foundation of confidence, leadership, growth, healing, success. When you build this, you no longer fear your feelings. You welcome them. You listen to them. You work with them, not against them. You become calm in chaos, peaceful in pressure, wise in storms, and unstoppable in your own transformation. The mountain you climb is not just made of fears. It is also made of feelings you never learned to manage. But now, you're learning. You're rising. You're becoming emotionally free. Chapter 5. Releasing the Past. Close your eyes. Picture yourself climbing a mountain. You have a heavy backpack filled with rocks. Each rock has a name written on it. Regret. Anger. Guilt. Old relationships. Missed chances. Who I used to be. You're trying to reach the top, but the bag is breaking your back. That bag is your past, and you will never reach the summit if you don't learn to let it go. Because it's not just memory. It's emotion trapped in time. Every event that hurt you left behind energy. Fear, shame, sadness, betrayal. Those emotions never disappeared. They just sank deeper inside you. So even when years pass, one small thing can reopen that old wound. The past doesn't live in history books. It lives in your nervous system. That's why you can move to a new city, change jobs, even meet new people, and still feel like the same old pain follows you everywhere. Because you brought it with you. You can't build a new life with old pain still in your hands. The purpose of pain is not to punish you. It's to teach you. Once the lesson is learned, you must release the experience. You're not supposed to carry the past. You're supposed to grow from it. Releasing doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean pretending nothing happened. It means changing your relationship with it. You stop seeing yourself as the victim. You stop replaying the same story in your head. You accept that what happened cannot be changed, but what you become because of it can. For example, someone hurt you deeply. They lied, cheated, abandoned, or used you. You swore you'd never forgive them, but every time you think of them, your stomach tightens. That's not punishment for them. It's prison for you. Forgiveness doesn't mean what they did was okay. It means you're done letting it control you. The book teaches, you forgive not to free them. You forgive to free yourself. Your brain is designed to repeat what's familiar, even pain. It loves patterns. If you lived for years in fear, guilt, or trauma, that becomes your brain's comfort zone. So when you try to move on, your brain screams, "Wait, this is new, this is unsafe." That's why you relapse into old memories, old habits, old relationships. Not because you're weak, but because your mind hasn't learned what safety without suffering feels like yet. Letting go is not losing. Letting go is learning how to hold yourself instead of holding what hurt you. How to release the past. Real, practical, beginner-friendly. Face it without editing. Stop running. Sit down and write everything that still hurts. Be brutally honest. Write letters you'll never send. Name the pain. Because what you don't face, you repeat. Find the lesson hidden inside. Every painful memory has a hidden seed of wisdom. Ask, what did this teach me about myself? What strength did this pain reveal? How did this break shape my character? Maybe the breakup taught you boundaries. Maybe failure taught you humility. Maybe rejection taught you resilience. The pain wasn't random. It was a curriculum. Release through ritual or action. You can't think your way out of emotional weight. You have to express it. Simple beginner-friendly ways. Write your old story on paper and burn it safely. Donate or throw away things that hold painful energy. Visit the place that haunts you, breathe, and walk away with peace. Say out loud, "It's over. I am free now." Your subconscious believes what it sees you do. Create new meaning. The past hurts because it feels meaningless, like wasted suffering. Give it meaning. Tell yourself, that was my training. That pain built my empathy. That experience prepared me for something bigger. When you change the story, you change how your brain stores the memory. Return to the present. Every time you drift back to the past, anchor yourself in the present. Feel your heartbeat. Name 5 things around you. Breathe slowly. Say, I'm here. I'm safe. It's 2025, not 2015. The body remembers the trauma. You remind it of time. Imagine your heart as a glass of muddy water. You can't remove the dirt by shaking it. You remove it by adding clean water. New experiences, kindness, gratitude, purpose. Little by little, the mud settles. The water becomes clear again. That's what releasing the past feels like. Sometimes we cling to pain because it's the last connection to something we lost. You still replay old love songs because they remind you of someone. You're scared that if you stop feeling sad, you'll forget them. And forgetting feels like betrayal. But the truth is, you can keep the lesson without keeping the suffering. Love doesn't disappear when pain fades. It transforms into wisdom, gratitude, and peace. The past can disguise itself as comfort. You scroll through old photos, visit old places, listen to old songs. You call it memory. But sometimes it's emotional addiction, because the past gives you a false sense of control. You already know how it ends. The future doesn't. So we keep looking backward because it feels safe. But you can't walk forward while facing behind. Stop trying to return to who you were. You've outgrown that version, neuroscientists explain. Every time you recall a painful memory, your brain replays the chemical pattern. That's why it feels real again. But if you replay it while thinking differently, with acceptance instead of anger, you literally rewire your brain. You teach it that the event is no longer a threat. That's how emotional freedom happens on a biological level. Imagine standing at the base of your mountain. Behind you, a giant chain ties you to old memories. Now visualize cutting that chain. See your past versions smiling, waving goodbye. They're not angry. They're proud that you're continuing the climb. Say softly, "Thank you for getting me this far. But now I must go alone." And walk forward lighter. Something magical happens. You start laughing easier. You start sleeping deeper. Music sounds better. Food tastes richer. The world feels new again. Because you are new. You realize peace was never missing. It was just buried under memory. Listen carefully. You can't start a new life while clutching the ashes of the old one. You can't climb higher while dragging ghosts. And you can't become who you're meant to be while defending who you used to be. The past is not your home. It was your classroom. Say it with me. I honor my past, but I don't live there anymore. I forgive so I can be free. I release what I can't control. I am ready for the new chapter. When you finally release the past, you stop climbing the same mountain every day and start discovering new peaks you never knew existed. That's when the mountain transforms from your burden into your blessing. Chapter 6. Building a New Future. Take a breath. Feel the silence inside you. You've come so far. You've faced your pain. You've studied your triggers. You've stopped being at war with yourself. You've released the weight of your past. And now something terrifying and beautiful is happening. You are no longer who you used to be, but you're not yet who you're becoming. You're in the middle. And this is where creation begins. This chapter is not about healing anymore. It's about building. Let's go deep. When people release pain, they think the work is over. But that's not true. Once the pain is gone, it leaves empty space. And if you don't fill that space with purpose, values, and habits, your mind will go back to old pain because it has nothing else to hold on to. Freedom is not enough. You need a plan for your freedom. So now we ask, who do you want to become? What kind of life do you want to wake up to? What habits do you want to live by? What energy do you want to carry? This is the new mountain. The book teaches us. You can't build a new future with the same automatic programming that created your past. You need to live intentionally, on purpose, with awareness, with daily decisions that shape your future self. It doesn't mean moving cities. It doesn't mean changing your name. It means building new beliefs, creating daily systems, living with emotional discipline, making conscious choices, holding yourself to higher standards, and doing it one ordinary day at a time. There's a person who wants to change their life. They've let go of their past trauma. They're ready to rise. But their daily routine looks like this. Wake up late, check phone, skip breakfast, complain about job, scroll Instagram for hours, go to bed with anxiety. Now pause. Can this person become their best self like this? No, because healing without structure is just a feeling. The book reminds us, the future is not something you wait for. It's something you build with your habits. Even something as small as cleaning your desk every night trains your brain to believe, I am organized. I care about my energy. I finish things I start. My space is a reflection of my future. This is not about perfection. It's about consistency. Let's make it very clear. To build a new future, you need to master these 5 things. 1. Vision. You must know where you're going. I want to become a confident English speaker. I want to build a peaceful life. I want to love myself fully. This is your why. 2. Systems. Dreams without systems die. Want to write a book? You need a writing schedule? Want to be healthy? You need a meal plan? Want to improve English? You need 30 minutes a day of practice. Your system protects your dream from dying in chaos. 3. Environment. Your environment shapes your mind. Remove toxic friends, negative voices, energy-draining habits. Add books, clean spaces, supportive people, nature, silence. 4th, identity. Don't just do different things. Become a different person. Stop saying, I'm trying to be healthy. Start saying, I'm the kind of person who moves every day. I'm the kind of person who learns every day. 5. Reinforcement. Celebrate every small win. Reward your effort. Track your progress. Notice your growth. What gets rewarded gets repeated. Let's say you've always been afraid of speaking English, but you've healed your fear. Now it's time to build a new future with English as your tool. How? You. Watch 1 English video a day, with subtitles. Speak to yourself in English in the mirror. Journal in English for 10 minutes daily. Surround yourself with English podcasts. Write goals in English. Celebrate every small improvement. Over time, your brain rewires. You stop saying, I'm learning English. You start saying, I'm an English speaker. That's not a goal. That's a new identity. The book reminds us, you become what you repeat. Every day, your choices are casting votes for the kind of person you are becoming. Vote for confidence. Vote for healing. Vote for growth. Vote for discipline. Vote for inner peace. How to build a new future. Let's break it down into a clear 6-step plan. Step 1. Write a new self-concept. Describe your future self, not what you want to have, but who you want to be. Write in present tense. I am calm. I lead with love. I wake up early. I speak with clarity. I believe in my voice. I live with intention. Step 2. Design a future you day. How does your future self live one normal day? What time do they wake up? What do they eat? How do they speak? What do they say yes, no to? What do they read? How do they sleep? Now start living one small piece of that day, every day. Step 3. Remove what doesn't align. If it's not part of the future you're building, let it go. This includes old routines, energy-draining people, wasted screen time, foods that make you tired, thoughts that weaken your spirit. Every no is a yes to your new future. Step 4. Build a morning system. Your first hour shapes your entire day. Start with movement, even 5 minutes. Silence or gratitude. English practice, listening/speaking. Review your goals. One powerful question. What is one thing I can do today that my future self will thank me for? Step 5. Track micro-wins. You don't need a big leap. You need 1% better every day. Spoke one full sentence in English? When slept on time? When said no to gossip? When did 3 minutes of meditation? When didn't respond with anger? When the new future is built in moments, not milestones. Step 6. Visualize daily. Close your eyes. See your future self walking, talking, living. Feel their peace. Stand like them. Speak like them. Be them. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between reality and rehearsal. So rehearse greatness. Your new future is not waiting for you to be ready. It's waiting for you to begin. You've healed. You've let go. You've listened to your inner voice. Now it's time to build a life that fits your truth. Not the life your parents wanted. Not the life society forced. Not the life shaped by fear. But the life you would build if you weren't afraid of anything. If you believed in yourself fully. If you acted as your future self, starting today. Chapter 7. From self-sabotage to self-mastery. You wake up in a quiet room. No fear, no panic, no confusion. You feel a strange, peaceful strength inside you. You no longer second-guess everything you say. You no longer repeat the same painful habits. You no longer feel like your own worst enemy. You finally trust yourself. This is not a dream. This is what self-mastery feels like. This is who you were always meant to become. And today, this chapter will show you how to step into that version of you. Let's start with truth. Self-sabotage is when your emotions control you. Self-mastery is when you control your emotions. Self-sabotage is when your past decides your future. Self-mastery is when your vision creates your reality. Self-sabotage says, I'm not ready. I'm not good enough. I'll never change. Self-mastery says, I decide what happens next. I can rise higher than my story. My habits shape me, not my fears. Self-mastery is not about being perfect. It's about being in charge. You feel your emotions, but they don't break you. You meet problems with calm, not chaos. You follow through on your goals even on hard days. You don't need motivation. You have discipline. You choose response over reaction. You stay grounded even when life shakes. Let me say it simply. Self-mastery means you stop being controlled by fear, pain, or patterns, and start living from your highest truth. Because healing is not enough. Letting go is not enough. Even growth is not enough. Unless it leads to power. There comes a time when you stop searching and start becoming. This is that time. Imagine a man with great ideas, huge potential, and deep intelligence. But he never finishes what he starts. He blames the world for his failure. He wakes up late, gets distracted, and sabotages relationships. Now imagine someone else. Average talent. But wakes up early, keeps promises to themselves, learns daily, regulates emotions, builds slowly. Who wins? Not the genius, but the master of self. The book teaches, you don't rise by talent, you rise by character. Nobody is born with mastery. You don't just wake up strong, you build that version piece by piece. How? By choosing alignment, the 7 core pillars of self-mastery. 1. Radical self-honesty. Stop lying to yourself. Ask, what am I pretending not to know? Where am I blaming instead of changing? What truth am I scared to admit? You say you're too busy to exercise, but the truth is, you scroll 3 hours a day. Self-honesty is not shame. It's the start of power. 2. Responsibility without excuse. Self-mastery means you say, it's my life, my habits, my reaction, my responsibility. You stop saying, they made me angry. The world is unfair. I have bad luck. Instead, you ask, how can I respond better? What can I learn? What's in my control right now? That question is your weapon. 3. Emotional neutrality. Emotion is powerful, but it's not always truth. A mastered person says, just because I feel scared doesn't mean I'm in danger. Just because I feel tired doesn't mean I quit. Just because I feel unworthy doesn't mean I am. They don't obey emotion. They witness it, question it, and then choose. 4. Delayed gratification. Self-mastery is the art of doing what's right, not what's easy. You eat healthy when you want junk. You study when you want to scroll. You walk away when you want to argue. You sleep early when you want one more episode. That's how you build power quietly. 5. Mental discipline. Mastered people choose focus over feeling busy. They use their brain like a tool, not a sponge. They journal. They reflect. They limit distractions. They ask deep questions. They read. They think slowly, speak clearly. They don't fill their brain with noise. They sharpen it with silence. 6. Micro habits of self-respect. Self-mastery is not one giant breakthrough. It's 10,000 small acts of self-respect. Brushing your teeth on time. Cleaning your space. Not canceling on your commitments. Saying no without guilt. Showing up even when no one sees. Every small act says, I respect myself, and your brain believes what you do. 7. Identity alignment. You stop saying, I'll do it when I'm motivated, and start saying, I do it because it's who I am. You move from, I'm trying to eat healthy. I'm someone who eats healthy. I'm learning English. I'm an English speaker. I'm trying to be confident. I am confident. Identity is the final lock. Once you step into it, you stay. Most people care more about how they look than who they are. They post success, but don't build it. They want peace, but chase drama. They say, I'm working on myself, but avoid discomfort. Self-mastery is private, quiet, real. You don't need to tell people you've changed. Your energy shows it. You are not here to stay broken. You are not here to chase people. You are not here to repeat the same pain. You are not here to stay at the base of the mountain. You are here to become the version of you who lives on the summit. The healed you, the brave you, the disciplined you, the focused, forgiving, fearless, free you. You've made it to the top of the mountain, to the final page. But this is not an ending. This is the first breath of the new version of you, the one who no longer bows to fear, the one who doesn't repeat the same old patterns, the one who doesn't let the past own the present, the one who says, "This is my life, and I choose who I become." No one is coming to save you. No miracle is arriving at midnight. But you now have everything you need inside you. You have awareness, you have emotional power, you have direction, and you have a map, this book. Remember, you are not behind. You are not broken. You are not too late. You are becoming. The mountain didn't stop you. The past didn't break you. The fear didn't win. Because something inside you refused to give up. If this summary helped you, if it made you feel something you haven't felt in years, if it gave you hope, clarity, direction, or just a spark of inner peace, then please don't leave without doing one thing. Subscribe to this channel, because this is just the beginning. We are building a place of deep healing, real transformation, and powerful English learning. Your next breakthrough could be in the very next video. So click subscribe and keep climbing. Not because you're broken, but because you know how powerful you can be.